Welcome back to What I Missed TV. Today in the YSL RICO trial, attorney Maxwell Schardt cross-examined state witness Kenneth Copeland, aka Little Woody. Attorney Maxwell Schardt exposed certain things in the ex parte meeting that wasn't in the transcripts. Now, let's take a look.
All right, anything else before we get the jury back in? Who's going to be up next for cross-examination? Is Mr. Nichols going to have any cross-examination? Okay. All right, let's get Mr. Copeland and...
Your Honor, we do have to.
Oh, okay. Hang on.
Your Honor, we Mr. Schardt over the lunch break, and we think him provided the exhibits that he's intending to potentially use.
Okay.
And so the state does have some objections to a few of his exhibits. And I don't know if the court received a copy of his exhibits.
I don't have a copy. Did you send a copy to Ms. Percifield? Okay. Can somebody so that or pull them up or something?
It's on a flash drive. You have another.
Some easy way for me to be able to look at them. Are these like audios or videos or something, Miss Hilton? What is it that you're objecting to?
One of the exhibits was the same exhibit that Mr. Steele attempted to exhibit, which was the Instagram post with the innocent man Instagram post. And so that was included.
Now, I adopt all of Mr. Steele's arguments for admission, but based on the court's ruling, I was not intending on introducing them.
The next two exhibits are, I think it's DS-27A, which is a warrant for false report of a crime. Mr. Copeland was never convicted. Matter of fact, I think that case was actually dismissed. And so I'm not sure the relevancy of the warrant that...
Is this a different warrant than he was presented with before?
Yeah, this is different from the murder warrant.
Okay.
Yes.
Your Honor, I can hand up to the court my copy.
Okay.
And there's two warrants actually, one for false report of a crime and then one for false statements, both which were dismissed by the state.
So, Your Honor, this warrant was from 2021. It was pending in the DA's office until earlier this year. It's been pending while this trial is going on. The DA's office, I believe it says January 18th of 2024, no prost, or they said decline to prosecute. I believe that's the third document.
Yeah.
I'll point out a couple things. First of all, the reason for the decline to prosecute is prosecutorial discretion, not a hole in the evidence. Also, that decline to prosecute says that this case it says at this time, the state declines to prosecute, meaning it can be brought up in the future. And quite simply, Your Honor, the state cannot, it's clear under the law that pending cases against a witness are bias and motive. The state cannot evade the reality of pending cases by just simply dismissing cases against their witnesses before they testify. So this case was pending during this trial. I believe Mr. Copeland, I wasn't planning on introducing any evidence, but Mr. Copeland gave a interview to the Danza Project where he seems to be under the impression that the case is still pending as of that interview. So I don't even know if he's aware about the declination of prosecution.
When was that interview? About
Recently, like.
Okay.
between
Recent.
the
last couple of months or,
I think
Couple of
last few
Okay.
weeks.
all right. That seems relevant.
And then that's fine that it seems relevant. We just don't think he can go into the warrants. He can say, was he arrested for false report of a crime and was the case declined? But I'm not sure if he intended to show him the warrants of his arrest.
Was he arrested?
He was arrested and then the case was dismissed.
3 years later.
Well, just to be clear,
When was he
was in
arrested?
jail. The false report of a crime is he accused a jail guard of using OC spray on him, and the jail reviewed the tape, and the jail guard didn't even have OC spray.
Okay.
And so that's, I mean, this going into the warrant trial, if it was declined earlier this year in January of 2024.
Okay, well, I mean, you can ask him about all of it, and then if it becomes necessary to use those documents, you can use them.
Yes, John.
What else?
That's it.
Okay, all right, then I think we're ready to get Mr. Copeland and the jury in.
Your Honor, we just had one other thing Mr. Schardt just brought to our attention that he intends on introducing. And I didn't know.
Do we need to ask Mr. Copeland to step
Yes.
aside? And sorry, we thought we were ready for you, but we're not quite. Just hang very close. I'm going to have y'all come back from lunch 15 minutes earlier than the jury so that we can do these kind of things. All right. Yes.
Your Honor, it appears that Mr. Schardt intends on showing him as a demonstrative of jail outfit. And I don't know the relevance of
Why?
showing him the jail outfit.
Because a theme in this case has been the Fulton County Blues. In particular, on June 10th, 2015.
He came in wearing that, right?
Well, I'm talking about 2015.
Oh, 15. Okay.
2015, he's
June
on-
10th, June 10th. Okay.
He's on video.
Yeah.
All right, there's a lot of June 10s. He's on video, and he's not wearing a jail outfit because they haven't brought him to the jail yet.
Okay.
Part of the reality of Rice Street, and I'm not asking this to go back with the jury, it's just a demonstrative. Part of the reality of Rice Street is you wear the outfit, you lose your individuality, your identity, you're thrown in the Fulton County.
No, that is nice and dramatic, but no, we don't need to do that.
May I use a picture?
No.
Okay.
Okay, let's get Mr. Copeland. And the jury. All right, Mr. Copeland, come on, have a seat with us. Well, I guess stand up for the jury.
Go.
On to the President Conference.
Thank you. Hope y'all had a pleasant lunch. We good?
Yes.
All right. All right, Mr. Schardt, you can proceed with your cross.
Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the court. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Mr. Copeland.
Good afternoon.
Hey, Mr. Copeland, we have never met before. Isn't that correct?
No,
Okay. We've seen each other in the hallway over.
no, we
last-
never met before.
Yeah, we never met. My name is Max Schardt, and I'm the attorney that represents Shannon Stillwell, okay?
All right.
All right. And I know you've been asked a lot of questions, and I'm going to try not to repeat questions that you've been already asked. I'm going to do my best.
All right.
All right, great. You do not want to be here today.
At all.
Okay. And the reason you don't want to be here today is not because you're scared, correct?
You know that.
Okay. It is because what you said in 2015 was lies.
You said it again?
What you said in 2015 were lies,
Right.
okay? And specifically, when you said that Demekion Garlington told you something at that McDonald's about Mr. Stillwell, that was a lie.
Right.
You lied to get out of trouble.
Right.
You lied as part of your finesse to the police.
Right.
You have testified that if the police mentioned anyone, you were going to come up with a story about them to get yourself out of trouble.
As y'all seen.
And the police mentioned Jeffrey Williams.
Right.
They called him a big fish.
Right.
And you lied on Jeffrey Williams.
Right.
Okay. Mr. Copeland, I'm going to ask you, do you still have that listening device?
Huh?
Do you still have the listening device?
What's that?
The ear thing?
Earbuds.
Oh, they right here.
Yes. Okay. I'm going to play a clip for you, okay? Mr. Kokomo, could you play what has been marked DS230? And for the record, this is a clip from State's Exhibit 378 Yankee Echo, which is the June 10th, 2015 interview, and it's from 9:53:35 to 9:54:10.
How long you been knowing Shannon? Longer than those have? Okay, you've been knowing Shannon a good part of your teenage adult life, correct? Y'all.
Mr. Copeland, is it not playing on your...
It just popped up.
Okay, could you start it all over again for Mr. Copeland?
How long you been knowing Shannon? Longer than those have? Okay, you've been knowing Shannon a good part of your teenage adult life, correct? Y'all basically grew up together, right? Went to school together. Y'all like brother. You, Demekion, and Shannon. That's from what I know. Yeah. So I can pretty much assume that if it's something like that they did, even if you weren't involved in it, you know about it. Because I'm telling you, everything kind of keeps coming back to you. You know what I'm saying? Because Shannon's out there on the streets now.
Okay. In that clip, Investigator Gaither is asking you about Shannon, correct?
This sound like it.
Okay.
I can't barely hear it. That's why I took the headphones out.
Are they not working?
No, it's just like the way my ear, the way I can hear. it's not clear enough for me. That's why I had to listen like out loud.
Okay, I understand. All right, well, we're going to do our best to work through that, okay? All right. So, regardless, in that clip, I'm going to ask you about that clip, and you can, if you didn't hear it, you didn't hear it. Investigator Gaither tells you that while you're in the interview room with her, Shannon is out on the street. Isn't that correct?
I just heard it.
Okay. Investigator Gaither says to you, if Shannon's involved in something, you know about it, correct?
I didn't hear that. Only thing I heard was just the last part where she said he on the street.
Okay. You now realize that the police were saying some things, such as Jeffrey's on a European tour, or Shannon's on the street and you're in here with us, to try to get you to tell on other people, correct?
Objection, speculation.
Sustained.
Is that how you took those statements at the time?
I don't get what you're saying.
Did you take those statements when Investigator Dennis told you that Jeffrey's on a European tour while you're sitting in the investigator's room, or Shannon's on the street while you're in the interview room? Did you take those statements as invitations to give information on other people?
Yeah, that's what they were doing the whole time. He got these big houses and cars, and that's what I think that was Dennis kept saying it all the time.
Okay. And these conversations and Investigator Gaither talking about Shannon then, that's not the only time law enforcement talked about Shannon in your interviews, is it? They would talk about Shannon a lot.
Yeah, right.
And let me ask you this. These interviews that we have, are those the only time you talk to the investigators about this case?
No.
Okay, you would have phone conversations with investigators, right?
Yes.
Phone conversations with Investigator Gaither that aren't recorded?
What you mean?
Did you record the phone conversations?
Mm-mm.
Have you ever heard a recording of the phone conversations?
No.
Okay, so as far as you know, phone conversations with Investigator Gaither, you had those, right?
Yes.
And as far as you know, they're not recorded.
We had conversation that I ain't heard.
How many conversations would you say you had with Investigator Gaither from January 1st, phone conversations from January 1st to, we'll
We
say
talked a lot.
June 10th? Weekly, daily?
I can't a lot.
Okay, what about Investigator Thorpe? You talked to him on the phone?
No.
Okay. What
But
about,
I did, but
not as often?
yes.
Okay. What about when they bring you to the interview room? Okay, obviously we see videotapes of you in the interview room. Do the police talk to you outside of the interview room before you go in there?
Yes, they do it all the time.
Okay. And are those conversations about what you need to do?
Yeah, some like that.
Okay, and what officers had those conversations with you, to your recollection?
Shit, everyone they have me.
Okay. So the bottom line is you said that the state were asking about Jeffrey when Mr. Steele was asking questions, right?
Yes.
Okay, the reality is the state was also asking about Shannon.
Yes.
And the reality is you didn't only lie on Jeffrey, but you also lied on Shannon,
Yes.
and you also lied on Mr. Kendrick, correct?
Yes.
You remember when Attorney Steele showed you that video from the Texaco gas station and asked if you saw Jeffrey Williams walking around the Texaco changing cars?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not going to play that video again.
Thank God.
Yeah, I don't think you're the only one that's saying that. But when you watched it, you didn't see Shannon changing cars at that Texaco either, did you?
No.
Regarding these lies you told in 2015, you have repeatedly told the state that they were lies, correct?
I told everybody who listened to me.
Okay. I want to ask you about, you mentioned it briefly with Mr. Steele. Remember that on June 10th of this year, we're talking about this year now. Remember when you were in the judge's chambers?
I'm listening.
Do you remember that?
Yes,
Okay. And just so we're clear, you didn't request to speak to the judge or the prosecutors, did you?
I had no clue where I was going.
Okay. And you had been in jail the weekend before,
Yes,
and guards brought you to the judge's chambers.
something straight in there.
Okay. And when you were brought to the chambers, Miss Hilton was there, correct?
Yes,
Okay. And
the SWAT team.
security, whatever they were, you saying the SWAT team. I was not there.
No, I didn't see you.
Okay. Mr. Stillwell wasn't there.
Who?
My client, Mr. Stillwell. Shannon.
No,
Okay. And none of the other defense attorneys were there.
no.
Okay. I want to ask you about some things that were said in that interview. Now, you're aware there was in that meeting on June 10th, okay? Now, you're aware that there's a transcript, correct?
I heard.
Okay. Have you seen the transcript?
It was sent to me, but I didn't never look at it.
If I ask you about things that were said in the meeting, would looking at a transcript help?
I guess.
Okay. Your Honor,
Yes.
may I approach with what's been marked as DS-33, which is the transcript from the June 10th, 2020?
Yeah, but I mean, ask him about it first. Ask him about it,
Oh, okay.
and then if he needs to see it, then
Okay.
you can give it,
Okay,
you can hand it to him, but
thank you. Don't look at this unless you need to, okay?
All right.
there you go.
Mr. Copeland, in that meeting in the judge's chambers, did you tell Ms. Hilton that you've never been truthful in your life? Except when you're telling them that you're a liar?
Right.
In that meeting, did you tell Ms. Hilton that, I won't get the quote, so when the police question me, they don't question me every time they lock me up. I don't know how many times that was. I done told them whatever different story I could think of to try to finesse my way out of the situation. I don't recall what I told them.
Yes.
Did Miss Hilton tell you when talking about lying? But if I know that you are lying about that, I do not intend to do that. If I know that right now he's lying, I know he's lying, I'm not going to charge you because I don't know your reason for doing that.
Did she tell me that?
Yes.
Yes.
you were offered immunity by the state, correct? Well, not offered. I say that you didn't want immunity, but they gave you immunity.
Yes, they forced it.
Okay. To Ms. Hilton, did you tell her, I did these crimes?
Yes.
And they have insisted that you testify, correct?
Yes.
They have told you it's okay if you say, I don't recall, when asked about your prior statements, correct?
Huh?
They told you you can say, well, let me back up. In preparation, the state's met with you several times in June of 2024, right?
I don't know what you're asking me.
Okay. Take yourself back to June 2024, okay? That was before,
What year this is?
This is 24, so a couple of months ago is what he means.
a couple
Okay.
months ago, right? Before you testified at all. You remember the week before you testified?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You remember when the state and Ms. Hilton and maybe some other people started coming to find you in the community?
Yes.
Okay. You had a lawyer at the time, right?
Yes.
His name was John Melnick?
Yes. Jonathan
Okay.
Melnick.
To your understanding, did the state, when they were trying to find you in the community, did they reach out to your attorney? Or did they go behind your attorney to talk to you?
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
So
To your understanding?
on the relevance, I mean, we've kind of been through all of this.
Can I,
Try a different question.
was Mr. Melnick there for those meetings with Ms. Hilton in the community?
No.
They took you to the courthouse one day before you were to testify, correct?
No. 2 days.
2 days before you were to testify. And was Mr. Melnick there for those meetings?
No.
And you told the state that what you said in 2015 was lies.
I told Ms. Hilton.
Right. Okay.
Go ahead.
Your Honor, may I approach
You may.
DS-27A and DS-27B?
Yes.
Mr. Copeland, could you just look at those two documents? Do you recognize those documents?
I seen him before, yeah?
Are those the arrest warrants taken out for you for false report of a crime and false statements that you believe are still pending against you?
Yeah.
Okay. And briefly, the allegation is that, well, Your Honor, I would move to admit DS-27A and DS-27B into evidence.
Yeah, we reject the admission of those who asked the question, but exhibit, yeah, the impeachment of the exhibits.
They're admitted over objection.
Mr. Copeland, briefly, the allegations against you that you believe are pending are that you accused a jail worker or a deputy of spraying with OC spray at the jail, right? And the deputies, the supervisors, reviewed the videotape from the jail and determined that the jail worker did not have OC spray on her and did not spray you with any OC spray in the jail. Isn't that correct?
Right?
Did you know that the state, while this trial was going on, dismissed that case against you.
I didn't know that.
Well, I brought you good news. May I approach with 27C?
You may.
Does that document say State of Georgia versus Kenneth Copeland?
I think.
Okay. That document indicates. May I approach?
You may.
Correct me if I'm wrong, does this document say the facts of this case have been reviewed, and although it appears that probable cause existed for the defendant's arrest, the decision of the district attorney at this time is not to prosecute the above named defendant? Is that what that says?
Yeah.
Okay. It says the reasons for this decision are as follows: prosecutorial discretion. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
the person whose name is on this document is Fonnie T. Willis, correct?
Yes.
Okay. That document does not indicate that your pending charges for false report of a crime and false statement, they don't indicate that those are dismissed forever, just for now, at this time, correct?
I guess.
Okay. And nothing in that document says, we dismiss this case because we were wrong, Mr. Copeland's innocent. It said prosecutorial discretion, correct?
What do you mean?
Okay. It means they just made the decision to do it.
All right, that we can strike that part. Ask your next question.
Isn't it true? And you just found out that this was dismissed today, but isn't it true that while you were on the state's witness list to testify in this case, the state was simultaneously, at the same time, prosecuting you for false statements and false report of a crime? Isn't that true?
Talk to me so I can understand.
They were calling you a liar at the same time that they were asking this jury to believe what you're saying. Isn't that true?
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about your immunity agreement with the state. They told you in that June 10th, 2024 meeting that you did not ask for, that any crime that you talked about, they were not going to prosecute you for. Correct?
Yeah.
You can talk about shooting Rich Homie Kwan's dad's barber shop. You can talk about shooting Rich Homie Kwan's father. They're not going to prosecute you for those things, right? That's what they told you. That's the promise they made to you. Correct?
Characterization of the evidence.
Sustained.
Is that your understanding?
Nothing I say can be used against me.
Okay. There's one exception.
If I say that I did, yeah,
Okay. The Donovan Thomas thing.
yes.
What are your thoughts? Do you believe that the state should have given Kenneth Copeland immunity after they knew he admitted to everything? Better yet, do you think the state should have put him on the stand as a witness after they charged him for lying and then dropped the charges? Leave us a comment. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this.